For me that Icon's willing to take this matchup into the Jace, considering that Xiaohu's been performing out of his right mind.
Oh yeah, Xiaohu has to be the second best mid laner right now in the LPL. I'd still give the first one edge to Doinb,
But in this series, going up against Icon, it's going to be an iconic matchup indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Summoner's Rift, the game one between RNG and OMG in Beijing, where RNG looking like a playoff team again. And this comes from the back of Langx in the top lane, who we're going to talk about heavily here in this series. Nah, forget it. We haven't actually had Beijing chants yet. I think there's something wrong with the... I never hear them, so there must be something wrong with the communication. However, gives us a little bit of a chance to talk about what's being taken, and it's going to be a press the attack Renekton in the top lane for Langx. And the reason we wanted to talk about this top laner is because at the moment, being the weak side for RNG, he has been strong in his individual component as well.
Yes, we've been talking about the role on Langx and whether he was going to be that split-pushing style that he was on Suning, and the answer is kind of no. He still plays the weak side very well. He's been consistently outplaying 1v2s thrown his way. However, very low gold shared, very low kill participation, and he's still through and through an RNG type of top laner where you don't see him for most of the game, but he's holding on and he's making sure that when RNG's bot lane is winning, the enemy team can't trade things back onto his side.
Very well shown when you see something like the kill participation being the what is he, 20th in the league?
He is 20th among top laners.
We have 16 teams.
And he has a kill participation of 44%. So most of the time, his job is actually to stay underneath his tower, don't die when people are trying to equalize.
And the biggest part of OMG here, which we've yet to announce, is that welcome back to World 6.
Hey!
Because we've now onto the third jungler of OMG. When World 6 was originally an OMG jungler himself, but we're going to take a pause because in the bottom lane, Kane is in a lot of trouble. Uzi flashes forward and gets first blood. RNG on top already.
Oh my god, I did not expect the amount of damage to just come through on that one, so I would like a second view onto that. Kane still level 1 and falls down to the level 2 all in.
Yeah, replay that.
Let me see if he actually gets hit by anything here. Does get tagged by the light binding. There's no Devourer to save him. And a very well-timed cheese kill right there. It's so rare to actually see these level 2 all-ins work in competitive play.
Yep.
RNG are able to make it happen. Now, some key things I want to note about these two teams is that most of their focus, their gold share, still goes towards the bot side. Kane has been doing 30+% of the damage for his team. A very new player, new addition, stepping up behind Crystal, who originally had the position for OMG's bot side.
And I mean, he's going up with Hudie rather at this point. Not too interested here in what Icon's taking to the mid lane in the Camille. I mean, pretty standard here going into a poking matchup, Grasp of the Undying. I do want to bring us back to World 6 though, because this is super important and I don't think RNG are going to let us talk about it. But at this point, when you have a jungler who used to be on OMG of old and hasn't really played with Kane yet, hasn't played with Karsa, it's interesting to see what dynamic comes of it, because it's always been about Icon, this team. And Karsa, you're expected that, or rather World 6, you're expected that he's told, focus on me. So we'll see what new comes of this jungler returning.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen World 6. I believe Raz has talked about this extensively. 7 generations of junglers on OMG, a revolving door around that one. And World 6 was the main jungler before 2017 Rift Rivals. After that, Jaco was the one that mainly played on the roster.
Yep.
But he was known for getting a lot of early games, like he's doing now.
Up towards the top side, so not around Icon. Going to be spotted out here with the scrying orb. He's still backing though. Karsa can come in, do this. Body bop away from there. That's what you need to do. And the barrel roll just to zone out. So easy use to get the ward here from Karsa. And now positioning the top side. This is just going to happen again. Look. Oh, just in time. But Karsa up here now going to be spotted out going into the tri-brush.
Yeah, so OMG are going to play this relatively safe. They already see what has happened here And just taking a look at the top side, what we've been seeing recently with a lot of Renekton versus the Ryze matchups is the rise of an early Merc Tread rush.
Yeah.
Rather than going for the team mats and just trying to wave clear it out, you want to shorten the duration, you take Legends Tenacity, and then you just try to kill and all-in the Ryze earlier on. We've actually seen a lot of success with that strategy so far, so I want to see if Langx gets a bit of play time inside the top lane. Usually when we see the Renekton blind pick by RNG, it's just to make sure they get a champion that's very hard to dive.
We definitely want to see the Ryze get shut down if you're someone like RNG, because there's 20 CS already in the lead, and this has been the common go-to matchup against Renekton, which is so damn popular in the LPL. Fun fact, Renekton is in the top 3 most played in the top lane, and in the top 10 in the mid lane as well. So we got a lot of diversity, but one thing remains the same, is that Renekton's powerful, Renekton's popular, and Karsa picking up the Ryze to shut him down is now on him.
And I do want to touch on why that is the case. Renekton's one of the best champions to play on a weak side, and in the LPL, you're constantly trading sides. A lot of times, the entire game revolves around a vertical aspect of it, about just taking resources from one and trading it back and forth. If you have to tower dive Renekton, it's so much harder.
Well, but let's look mid, because Xiaohu's going to be under threat here with the Camille hitting level 6. He's caught in the corner, ignited down. He flushed away. Rather, Ignite doesn't come down. He returns the favor with Karsa running into World 6. Welcome back to the LPL. A flash from Karsa onto the Gragas underneath turret. He won't be able to find the kill, but RNG trade back one.
Very well timed out, and Karsa is just always on point. No ultimate even there, but it just comes in with the Arctic Assault in the nick of time, stops the damage, and that was only 2 hits away from Icon finishing off the kill.
Got a kill to the mid lane. Xiaohu now hits level 6 himself, which, yep, doesn't really matter too much, but with that kill, serrated Dirk. And we'll have a look at how this got turned around with Karsa making his entrance.
Yeah, do want to see how that happened. Xiaohu actually levels up mid-jump and gets the knockback onto World 6, so there was no Q and W coming out from him. Oh my god, RNG's mid-jungle played this so damn well to turn that fight.
And now Karsa trying to influence the bottom lane as, no, Hudie's going to back. They stop him.
If this wave goes in, Hudie is a dead man.
Karsa has Glacial Prison as well. Kane at half health. Hudie sticking around. Karsa still hasn't been spotted, but the Gragas is coming down.
Don't know if they spotted the Gragas or not, but probably just had a good timer on him.
But in the end of the day, safety for Kane and Hudie. That could have gone from bad to worse, but both flashes available, so it's a safer play from Karsa, who doesn't have his. When you consider what could have happened in the bottom lane, well, it didn't really need to happen. Uzi already 20 CS ahead. Lane just winning out naturally with the first blood going to him in the 2v2. And the Manamune picked up nice and early.
Always a fun thing to note the timers on that mirror mana when it actually comes up. A lot of 18 minutes ones we've been seeing. I want to see if Uzi can race the clock in this one. Try to get a faster completion.
Surely than last game. Our boy picking up at 8 minutes around this time, if I remember. That was game number 1.
Ooh, if OMG engage here, they're going to be in for an unpleasant surprise.
Yeah, Hudie's coming down with Abyssal Voyage now picked up. The level 1, absolutely atrocious as to what it used to be now. Let's see, because in good position here in a 2v3 with Xiaohu in a good position to join.
And just talking about OMG's bot lane, this is a lane that wants to leave as soon as possible. Abyssal Voyage with the just with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, so much global pressure. And for RNG, what they want to do is just constantly keep this one shoved in. Oh my god, how many hits did he take from that?
It fires pretty damn fast. Hudie just gets down to half health. He has to pop a potion from it as well, so that's rough. As Raz says, the Ocean Dragon, and I'm not sure if he mentions the Cloud, but the Cloud's in there as well.
No respect for the River King.
No. Ocean is actually the worst by far, though. Doesn't it slows you as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, Ocean's the worst. I think Cloud's okay-ish.
Cloud just attacks really fast, though. Which one does splash them? Is it fire?
It's Mountain Drake.
The Mountain?
Fire just does more damage.
Oh, yeah. That one's still painful. Yeah, nice trade here from Langx in the top lane. He started to climb back some of the CS advantage that was accrued by Karsa. Has a teleport to get back in this lane and should be able to equal out the level advantage that goes to the Ryze. World 6 getting to the top lane because he realizes this lane is getting even worse. Karsa and Xiaohu have freedom, especially through the mid lane shove. World 6 might have to just leave these Krugs.
Yeah, I don't think he can stay here. This is a one-shot combo from RNG, and we've actually seen this happen multiple times.
Yeah, World 6, this is greedy, gets caught out to the skies. Xiaohu sends you the opposite way as RNG get their mid laner a second kill and start pressuring Curse.
Yeah, that was an easy timer for Karsa. He knew he was right around the corner, no hesitation. He Qs in, and once he sees World 6, instant R, nothing you can do there. That was a rusty play from... oh my... Okay, that was
I was like, hang on, the Ashes on the other team. If not, that was perfect. Kane hit his own rise. This is when you wish, you know, team fight, what's it called?
Team fight tactics?
No, I know you've been playing that. Team damage is on.
It's a great game!
Wow. I'm not talking about team fight tactics. If team damage, friendly fire is what I was going for there. If that was on, but very, very well said, Clement.
I think Rise would be another exile.
Okay. Well, I still can't play it because the Chinese server doesn't have it yet. And I got to download the Oceanic Client.
Yeah, great game. I've been playing that a bunch. Glacial Ranger for OMG here. RNG going for Void.
Okay. Great. Giving me some tactics myself. Thank you, Clement. I wanted to point out before, just as we saw Xiaohu move to the top side, and while that play came through, the Scrying Orb spotted out Krugs. So World 6 was in full vision that whole time. Because the Krugs were giving that vision over to RNG, as a side note. So as World 6 drops down, he now loses that level he had equal to Karsa. 8 versus 7 on the Gragas. He tries to get the mid lane. Good light binding, final spark flash. Again, World 6 is getting a crude entrance in the LPL.
I'm not sure you want to do that.
Blocked by Hudie. Yeah. Clement, your heart, how's it feel?
I feel for World 6. He's making this game very entertaining.
Light Binding connects again onto the Tahm Kench. Icon gets bopped out. Shield comes through. Xiaohu in a good position. Good dodge away from Icon, but Ming just putting in the work here on this Lux.
Oh boy, World 6 is really playing on a razor's edge right there. He had to use his Zania just to dodge out of the last tick of Ignite damage, but he also put himself in range of a lot of skill shots. So.
Yep. But like RNG are winning all across the map. This is great. At the moment, Langx playing that weak side to a good point again, not really falling behind further than the 20 CS. And you talked about the Tenacity boots picked up early. Well, now there's a Phage on the Renekton. And Langx just goes back to lane. He hasn't lost more than one bit of turret plating. So, Curse, you're in a difficult position because now everything's on you as the rest of OMG are failing across the map.
Yeah, I think the main problem with this comp so far is that... not sure. Huh.
Xiaohu's just like, there's an arrow.
There's no one in River. That I was a bit confused by that. I was like, okay.
he just wants the confidence to know he can hit an arrow.
They definitely spotted that one out. Maybe he was using it because Hawkshock was expended? Maybe?
Maybe. That's 100 gold on the blue buff picked up for Xiaohu, though, who is 20 CS ahead of the Camille mid, who already had himself the Youmuu's Ghostblade. And he now returns to mid, and Icon's like, holy moly, I gotta walk this way. Good hook shot into wall shot. Langx was gonna snap his jaw shut.
OMG have a great playmaking composition. Gragas, Tahm Kench.
Yeah.
This is essentially what RNG themselves really like to run in 2018. You know, Rise focus, Gragas focus, just a lot of great tools that you can use. However, the problem is that they're not being allowed to leave lane.
Yeah, not even allowed to hold off into this bottom lane. Hudie and Kane. Flash burned out of the Tahm Kench. First turret blood goes over to RNG, and they're pushing with the Rift Herald to get even more. World 6 has to make a reaction, so he says, okay, top side. Let's bring the Camille there as well, but Xiaohu can roam as well, and he can hold off in a 2 versus 3.
All right, here we go. This is a Langx special, 1v3 in the top lane.
And it's a Renekton with Dominus available and Flash.
Now that's why Renekton is so good. His wave clear is insane, so he can just get all the XP.
Rise still has Realm Warp. Xiaohu has good poke here. He's going to jump in a 2v2. They flash forward. They take the Gragas down. Icon is out of his own Hex deck ultimatum because Gragas died so quickly.
Well
World
played
6.
by Langx.
Well, welcome back to the LPL. I'm going to say this outright. I miss Penguin. Right now, OMG struggling across the map, and World 6 is getting a really rough entrance back.
I wonder what happened to Penguin. Maybe it was like global warming or something, but they need him back. Penguin was actually their best jungler in a long time.
LPL warming.
I don't understand why they weren't playing with him. So their
I'm
previous
sorry I
jungler
brought it up. Yeah, but
was Ihan, and he played a number of series, but the early game was quite atrocious. Like, he was constantly giving up first bloods and whatnot. So,
I mean, Xiaohu's not on the map. You think, has he backed?
This is really well played from Langx. Look at how he traverses and keeps his back towards the terrain, so can't get knocked back. The great follow-up flash.
Yeah, to be fair, like, all credit to RNG. That was just clean. They're playing this early game super clean.
Yes.
This is why we're calling them a playoff-ready team, because at the moment, the new RNG look great. Like this. Know the play, know what's happening. Teleport's coming in. Kane's been spotted out. Uzi has the killer instinct, but used it onto Hudie instead. I think he wanted to get the backline, but Langx's going to deal with that. With a Glacial Prison onto Kane. They also take out the Time Kench. What did I say, Clement? Clean
So
as a
damn
whistle.
Clean. So damn clean. And RNG, I think something woke them after that FPX loss. Because this is the cleanest game that I've seen them play.
This is perfect. This is so far a flawless game. 6-0, 2 turrets to 0. This mid lane turret under effect again. Even Curse getting locked down by a light binding. Ming's joined the party, and OMG right now are down 6,000 gold.
It's just out jungling a lot of the times, and Karsa has been able to track World 6 wherever he went. He denied the mid lane, and this is a classical situation where you control River, you have to put a stamp on River, you have the backside wards, and all the skill sequences were perfect.
Yes.
There was almost no return damage being dealt from OMG's side.
Burning flashes at core moments. Now, I know that sounds silly, but Karsa burns it because Langx's coming in. They want to secure the kill. This jungle's been perfect. And Langx now, the weak side of the map, has a kill, so equaled out. Hudie caught out once again. Karsa going to chase this up. There is the final spark, and Uzi and Xiaohu just get another one. 5-0-1 on the Jace in the mid lane. And if you thought this Camille was going to scale, think again.
Hudie, you got to realize that river ain't yours anymore. You might be the River King, but you just can't walk into RNG's territory willy-nilly. He needs so much more backup to actually help him in that point. And once he's off the map, RNG are just going to take more and more.
Where on the map is OMG's right now? Because Karsa's controlling the top side. Curse is in a bad position. Has teleport, but no Realm Warp available. Ming lands the binding. The Glacial Prison connects again. Easiest turret dive of their life as RNG are going to take yet another turret. An Icon is trying to ruin the perfect game, heading towards the bot side. Kane mid as well. RNG waiting for the next wave, but they can just proxy and clean this one out.
No teleports here, so RNG are going to have to trade back a little bit of damage right here, but I think they're perfectly fine there. Jace already has the Ghost Blade complete. Lots of out-of-combat movement speed. He's going to be able to race towards that.
He just got a Black Cleaver outright. I want that to be known. We're going to lose the perfect game here, Clement, it seems. As Curse working his magic on the bottom side. That's going to be the first turret for OMG.
No Icon! No, okay.
Feels
I
pretty
actually
good.
don't think players care about perfect games at all.
I mean, obviously, RNG is still clean. You know, losing a turret, they get one in the top side. Trade is good for OMG, but 7,000 gold behind. This mid game is just massive for this team. A Renekton, a Jace, a Fed Karsa with a Lux, and even Sejuani.
Yeah, Sejuani versus Gragas does tend to end up like this. So Sejuani can invade whenever she wants to onto the Gragas, and she has a lot of kill threat when her mid lane is following her around as well. So unless the Gragas actually get something going early levels, a lot of games actually just happen like this, where you see the jungler becoming completely collapsed. And RNG do this with the Rek'Sai Sylas combo as well, or the Gragas.
No, but Rek'Sai's there as well. You're very right.
I really enjoyed their Syndra Gragas combos. Those were absolutely sick. We call them
was great.
geometrical explosives.
Oh, okay.
So you use the explosive cast, you knock someone back onto your Q, and then Syndra just follows up.
I was going to call it drunk geometry.
There you go. That's a better
That's better, isn't it?
That's a better translation. Well done.
Thank you.
Your Chinese is improving.
You mean my English is improving? It's amazing to watch this mid 2v2. And in the LPL, when mid 2v2s play well, often it's our top tier teams. Like FPX, their mid 2v2 is almost unbeatable, as shown against RNG. And that's why this team is 7-0. So RNG, their mid 2v2 has been a very strong point here in this split. And with Langx on the weak side, with the growth here, World 6, please run away. Can he? No. Okay. Ming gets killed this time. Icon walks into this one now. On Hudie, I'm not sure if that's a good opinion, but Hudie gets locked down with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, so they get the first kill of the game. Another perfect measurement ruined as the Shock Blast combo from Xiaohu hits the back line, and Karsa only just survives. So good pick here from OMG. It was off the arrow of Kane.
Yeah, good find right there, and it was just RNG overstepping their bounds a little bit. Hudie just moving back into the back line.
That's true.
Nothing you can do right there.
We were praising them that one move. Still for RNG. They know it's going to take a lot more than that. Ming almost steals the red buff. Almost being the key word, but OMG bring it back to 6,000 gold. So more of that, please, OMG.
And you'll see a lot more of these incursions by RNG just into that side. They didn't spend any summoners for that one, so even though there was a bit of a hiccup, I still think you're going to see roughly the same play here.
Oh, Icon might be caught out here. Xiaohu pops onto the Youmuu's Ghostblade. Half health there from Icon walking away. That's just the power of Jace right now, so Icon knows he can't deal with him. At least he's got the escape.
Yeah, just checking that again.
World 6, like, when do I die? Oh, now.
Tries to get his Q off. You should ult immediately when you see that happening. And Hudie walks a step forward, takes it to the face.
I feel like Karsa, someone dies there from RNG anyway.
Yeah.
So, Hudie walked the corner, saw Icon and went, oh crap. Still RNG in a good position to take the Baron. They've begun. Going to be spotted out by OMG, but look at the positioning here. This is super hard. World 6 going to get zoned out, pops a Predator, but RNG aren't taking chances. They're playing it a safe game.
I never think you should take chances with Gragas. Like, his RQ combo is just too much of force damage, and he still has Flash. So I actually agree with the idea of just backing out here. It's much easier for RNG to try and turn and take fights.
True. Langx as well has a teleport. They don't want to burn it just yet. Icon looking for Xiaohu. This Joe's still so much of a threat in the 1v1. So OMG pull them off a Baron. That's what you can hope for. Colonel says hello. And very fair right now. He believes, though, as OMG go later in this game, as I do, that they have a better window of opportunity with the rise with the Camille. So scaling elements come into play, but now they want to force the plays onto the back end. Hudie, who just talks into Icon, almost kill him. Killer instincts there. Icon eventually drops down, but Hudie has to pop the grey health into the back. Langx starts spinning. World 6 gets 3 hit by Xiaohu. And although the 80 carry of RNG goes down, everyone else cleans up the fight.
Absolute massacre in the top side. OMG did what they had to do. I commend that play. It was absolutely necessary to stem the bleeding happening, but just a bit too little too late. 1 for 4, not what you want to see in the trade, and Langx was on point with the teleport as well. You might have seen him.
Survived so long, Clement.
Yeah.
This is the thing, he's 3 items, and hasn't been that silent, but there are so many good elements of RNG right now. Langx swung through, and he couldn't even kill him. Let's give him a Baron. Let's give him a 10k gold lead at 23 minutes.
It's just the speed and decisiveness that really shocks you about RNG's play. Yep. You see OMG come out of the shadows, and it looks like a lightning-fast execution, but what you don't realize is RNG is anticipating this all the time, and they just jump out and have that counterpunch ready at the same time.
They have a really good read of OMG in this game. I have to say, OMG are being read at every single corner, every single turn. Icon now going for the flank, but a good control ward there from RNG. They position up, they look for the Glacial Prison, Icon dodges away, but they have so much more follow-up. They go into the Arctic Assault, Karsa leading the charge, and the Shock Blast comes in. My God, World 6 hates that. They flash forward, they get the final spark. OMG running away, they have slows, but RNG have constant chase. On the Hudie, we'll see the dominance get proxied by Langx and gets half health. The flash forward from Ming, they've used a lot. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow launches in with the explosive cast to separate them, but OMG still plenty healthy. But RNG still want the fight. Onto Hudie. Hudie now ults in, finds the capitalization on the damage. He then runs forward. RNG want the fight. It's Kane who has to walk away. World 6 slowed on down. This fight's gone for so long. Onto Curse now. Hudie firing away. Curse will survive, but Icon, why did you go back in? Langx gets a kill, and so rightly so. They look for the poke. Karsa doesn't even need to be involved. Xiaohu just takes down Kane, and they took the fight from bottom lane inner to bottom lane inner.
That was a chase from a team that had a very one-sided advantage, but RNG still made it look so clean that I would put that in the top 5 willingly. Like, just the persistence on the chase, the amount of abilities that they went one by one, getting slows down, and making sure OMG would actually stay for the turn right there was very impressive. The control on that team fight, I'm at a loss for words just watching that. You have to calculate how many times RNG went back in to chase it down.
Wait, we look at top. Okay, this was ages ago.
Yep, so Icon does go in, misses the flash on the stun, still gets the ultimate down, but loses the majority of his HP down almost immediately. And, you know, like, even though Karsa is there to finish out the kill, lots of stuff expended. Kane's not even in the picture. Oh. And here we go. This is the one that I really want to watch in. Most teams would call it quit right here, but RNG are damn persistent. You can see the flash W coming in from Karsa just to get an extra slow, and then you also have a flashlight.
I feel like we can't look at this because the game's just going to end. RNG are channeling up the mid lane, and they've just gotten their mid lane turret with ease. Icon's gone to the bottom side, but he wants a flank. I think the game could end before he gets there.
It definitely could, and this flank has to be absolutely perfect if it's going to do anything. Like, you have to remember, Uzi already does have the Quicksilver Sash, so a stun's not going to do it.
No, OMG, just holding their ground as best they can. Langxing's going to get the wave here, and look at where it all crashes. Bottom lane, top lane are going to be coming in at relatively the same time. Actually, hold that. Top lane's not going to be there, but bottom lane is the main thing. Baron buff going for another 15 seconds, and that's enough for a wave to crash on in and get that inhibitor turret.
Be careful of the light bindings. Wow. Those are the deadliest.
Oh, Kane's been caught out. Hudie devours him, but Curse gets pipped in the back line as RNG channel it down. Karsa getting hit, but the man's so tanky. Baron's going to expire, but the inhibitor's gone anyway. So RNG cleaning house. And OMG just looking distraught after this first game.
Yeah, such a dominating performance right there. And I really like the way that they use their skill shots to just force out targets. You have the Glacial Prison going one way, Light Binding going the other. OMG are... I'm actually surprised they got to walk out of that unscathed. Yeah. But you can tell how close it is and how much pressure that the layering of CC here is. One thing we said about RNG is that they're the best playmaking, teamfight playmaking team that we have in the LPL. They understand how to use their crowd controls, how to portion that crowd control to the maximum effect, and just fan out all of that and just force the enemy team away from objectives.
At this point, like, if you're just talking CC, there is so much of it on the side of RNG. Renekton, what's that champion? Sejuani. It's Karsa. And Ming. So at this point, like, RNG, there's so much lockdown that for OMG, they've got QSSs, they've got ways to get out, but well, there's no QSS there for Ash. It's like, no, I need a stopwatch. Very fair. I talk about OMG's item spikes, but at this point, my thoughts are like on the chase. GA, Caulfield's Warhammer pickaxe. Okay, that's cool. Look at Uzi. BF sword with a QSS. I don't even think we get to 4th item before this game ends.
No, the 1-3-1 for OMG is probably never going to materialize.
Wow. That turret just disappeared. Hudie flashing away. Kane almost dying. Need a devour. Get the Enchanted Crystal onto Xiaohu. Smite to come through, but Langxing says, howdy. We fighting, boys and men. Just face checks into... Well, it's not even a face check. It's just a run forward here from RNG. Thank you. Light Binding connects. Curse, it's time to die. Get ready as Xiaohu jumps into the backside. And OMG... I don't think this fight goes your way in the slightest. Icon wants to come back, but RNG want to go back. Go back to the fountain and go to game number 2. Full ace, and OMG are getting wallet smacked as they get absolutely pounded. Remember this after game 1. RNG are playoff ready, and if this game doesn't tell you that, then I don't know what will. 1-0 in the series, and OMG have to come up with another plan.
Whew. And most of that really stemmed out of control from RNG's anticipation of where World 6 was going to be. His first 2 ganks in the mid lane were intercepted by Ming, by Karsa.